Hello, podcast listener. Are you wearing a new shirt today? I hope you are, because you're going to need it for this episode of JJ Meets World. Sit back, relax, pour yourself something brown, and enjoy. And by the way, if you'd like to help support our podcast, visit jjmeetsworld.com where you can donate to our Patreon, pick up some killer swag at our merch shop, or click the link to Apple Podcast and give us a 5-star review.
1, 2, 3, 4. JJ Gordon, sort of like that Indiana Jones, in that he's always sniffing out his next adventure. Yes, he is. He's always interviewing guests so he can have them on his show and they can talk about pop culture, arts, and leisure. JJ has his flag unfurled and he likes his french fries curled, and he's fun and then he twirled as he goes to meet the world. He will march into the rain even if his ankle sprained. Take a peek inside his brain. This podcast is called JJ Meets World.
Tucker, I need you to answer 10 simple questions, all right?
All right.
What is your idea of a fun Saturday? Is it A, watching an action movie, B, planning an epic adventure, C, hanging out with friends, or D, relaxing on the beach?
Ooh, D.
D, relaxing on the beach. All right. What's the best way to train for a game of American football? Sprinting drills, strength training and tactics, something adventurous like wall climbing, swimming because it's relaxing and keeps you fit.
D.
Okay. How do you handle a challenge, Tucker? Take it head on with victory in mind. Think carefully about it. Approach it fearlessly. Stay calm and think creatively.
Ooh, can you read those again?
Take it head on with victory in mind. Think about it carefully. Approach it fearlessly. Stay calm and think creatively.
4.
Okay. Which of these do you agree with? And you can tap as many as you want. Answering won't affect your score. I like to get stuff I see people wearing at concerts. Swiftie bracelets example. Sports is important to me. I like, in quotes, cute things. Drawing, reading, journaling, or crafting makes me feel less stress. I love Marvel. I have favorite anime characters. I have favorite K-pop stars. Gaming helps me chill, relax. I love Disney. None of these.
3 of them.
Okay, so which 3? I like to get stuff I see people wearing at concerts.
Nope, it was the Marvel one.
Okay.
What was the one right before that?
Drawing, reading, and journaling.
That one, and then it was one of the very last ones.
Gaming helps me chill, relax.
Yep.
Okay.
I had to keep track of that. That was difficult.
What's your favorite color? Red, bold and strong. Purple, royal and unique. Black, powerful. Aqua blue, cool and refreshing like a dip in the sea.
Black.
Okay. Powerful. How do your friends describe you? Competitive and always ready for a challenge. Loyal and a bit of a leader. Fearless and ready for anything. Laid back and fun to be around.
4.
Okay. This is question 6 of 10 we're on now. What's your dream day out, Tucker Lucas? An awesome adventure park? Something outdoorsy? Exploring a city? A day at the pool?
Number 1.
An awesome adventure park. Okay. What's your favorite snack at an American football game? Spicy wings? A hot dog with everything on it? Grilled seafood or a crisp salad? If they have tacos, then I'm having tacos.
Of all of those, it's going to be that first one.
Spicy wings?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the hot dog had everything on it, and I don't want everything on it.
I know. How would you say you motivate your team? By leading with energy, with courage and determination, lead them into battle with a wink and a joke, with calm vibes and encouragement.
4.
Okay. Question number 9. What's your biggest strength? Your focus under pressure, loyalty and teamwork, fearless attitude, relaxed approach to everything.
1.
Okay. This is the last question. What's your perfect way to celebrate a win? A huge party with a buffet, a well-deserved feast with close friends, a trip to a fun fair, some snacks, and relaxing music.
Number 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tucker, according to this quiz on Beano.com, you are the Miami Dolphins. Laid back, fun-loving, and going with the flow, you're just like the Miami Dolphins. People love being around your calm, positive energy. When the pressure's on, you stay cool and adapt with ease, making you a natural leader. You also communicate to your teammates by making a clicking sound.
Is this one of those spaces you found because you work in radio and you're just like, we got to find stuff to talk about?
Nope. I specifically chose what NFL team are you? On my way here, I was thinking about this.
Well, no, I mean like Beano.com.
Oh, I just Googled what NFL team are you quiz, and I chose not the BuzzFeed one.
Why the NFL? Why are you on an NFL kick right now?
I just, football season's just about to start up.
It's you though.
Yeah, but football season's just about to start up.
Okay, but is there a football musical that's coming out?
There's not, but there's a football horror movie.
I should specify an American football movie.
Yeah, good. Thank you very much.
That's coming out. There isn't.
Just, I'm surrounded by sports fans. I'm surrounded by people who play fantasy football and take it way too seriously. Way too seriously.
The first thing I thought was Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Okay,
when I saw Miami Dolphins.
Let's talk about this because there are a handful of professional sports teams that I know about solely because of their placement in pop culture. The Miami Dolphins being one of them, because Dan Marino was written into the plot of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, which I saw probably 50 times as a child.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And a grossly inappropriate movie for a kid to watch. And I watched it hundreds of times. That's probably the first movie that it's the first movie that I can think of where when I saw it in the theater, I became delirious with laughter.
Oh,
that level that I got to when you and I went and saw The Naked Gun. That was the Ace Ventura was the first movie that ever did that to me. And that was the opening sequence as the variation of the UPS delivery driver.
Oh.
And I just thought that was the absolute funniest thing I'd ever seen. I couldn't believe I was seeing that.
I just watched a clip of Jim Carrey, young Jim Carrey, on Jay Leno, on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. And Jay Leno's like, we going to talk about you, Jim? And Jim Carrey's like, people come out and they've got an anecdote. And at one point, you just kind of run out of stories to tell. And he's like, it's like that Neil Armstrong. And he goes, the astronaut, he goes, yeah. He's like, oh, I walked on the moon. Well, if that isn't a fish story, I've never heard one before. God, we've heard it. And he goes so over the top and has these facial expressions out of it. He cracks Jay up, and I'm like, this guy really was an interesting talent, early in his career. He performed nonstop.
Yeah, and he became someone that others would imitate. Mm-hmm. So that's how you know how big he was. I mean, he ruled a section of the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Entirely. I remember
one of the most bankable Hollywood names of the last 30 years.
Exactly. And I'm trying to remember the context of this quote. It was, I think, from Tarantino in an interview he did within the past few years, where he was talking about how there aren't movie stars anymore. There are, Captain America is not a movie star. He's a character, right? Blah, 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 blah. And my first thought was Jim Carrey's still working. I would 100% call him a movie star, right? In the classic sense of one, where he's just bigger than life. If he's attached to the project, he's the biggest part of the project now, all of a sudden. Imagine what the Sonic movies would have been like without him.
I mean, he played Dr. Robotnik so well.
He's a reintroduction of him to a generation of people.
And there are people who have the opposite, right? When Marvel chose Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, the consensus across the globe was well, you just tanked your man in a suit movie because who wants to watch Robert Downey Jr.? He's a washed up drug addict. And now he's one of the most bankable celebrities on the planet.
Yeah, the internet algorithm fed me an interview clip from some convention of it was Kevin Feige and James Gunn, and then I forget her name, but she was the casting director for most of Marvel's big tenure here. She might still be, I don't know. And they were talking about how Chris Pratt got the like he was not even in consideration, and she like snuck him in because she had a feeling about it. And they also talked about how Chris Evans, when they were talking about Captain America, he'd been crossed off the list early on, and then they kept testing people and just nothing felt right. And then she brought him back in because she's like, I see something here. I think there's something here. They have a lot of stories like with Robert Downey Jr., like you're saying, where it almost didn't happen, right? There was all sorts of reasons to not, but then they kind of listened to a creative instinct that was deep down, and they were right.
I want to write a book.
Do it.
I think I'm at the point in my life where I'm ready to write a book.
What are you going to write it about?
So
fiction, nonfiction?
Actually, it's interesting because
sexy.
My sister.
Sexy.
Yeah, oh, of course. Yeah. Okay. I have one idea for a book because I want someone to buy the rights to turn it into a movie.
Can I blindly claim the rights right now?
To the movie?
No. To design the cover.
Oh,
and you
yes.
You have to just agree blindly, and no matter what, I'll just I'm just designing. I might not be the one actually making it.
Okay,
but
you're not even going to read the book, though. That's the thing.
Like, I'm just letting you. Oh, I'll read the book. I'm just letting you know you have to take it, no matter what it is. Okay.
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah. I won't even ask for royalties.
Okay, so one of my book ideas is about a guy who was part of like a CIA, but fake CIA government operative, right? So, you always hear about like the fixers and the cleaners and the people who operate as part of like a government.
There's like a shadow. He's in like a shadow position.
Right.
He has no actual rank.
So this guy faked his own death to get out of this world. And he's been living happily for the last 10 years in a small town teaching high school math, right? He's got a nice girl, and he's left this life behind him. He literally found the most boring place on the planet to like establish himself. But one day, while this big like mafia enforcer is driving, to across the country, he gets a flat tire and ends up in the small town. And he sees this guy at like the school's like annual carnival, and he goes online and he puts it on blast. He goes like that, the operative that we've been trying to hunt down, like is not
goes
dead,
on the internet.
is like there. Yeah. He's on the internet. He's on like a Reddit page.
He's like, guys.
But so essentially like this squad of bad guys comes to this town, right? And this guy, and they tell him like, they've contacted him. They're like, we're gonna burn this whole town to the ground just for you. So he's like, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna get out of here. And they're like, it doesn't matter.
He's made roots. He started a life there.
But they're like, you can't just leave and we'll chase you. We are going to burn this town to the ground
because they've all seen you.
So they've decided. So now he has to decide like he's got to fight, right? But you know who he enlists to help him in his fight? All the other high school teachers. And so they make the high school like a Home Alone style thing, right? So the chemistry teacher is there, and like he's figured out some weird stuff.
They each have their specialty,
right? Exactly.
The gym teacher has some way of getting like the cone set up or something.
Oh, it's all the nets. It's all the nets, right? But like, you utilize the small, soft skills of each of these educators to help you out. And it's not like the whole school. There's like 4 people who are like his best friends.
Where would you say on like a continuum this would exist between, say, Chris Columbus Home Alone style and like Adventures of Pete and Pete, because of all like the teacher characters and sort of the universe they built up around that, their eccentricities, like defined them specifically as to why that's the shop teacher, why that's the math teacher, why that's the cafeteria lady.
So it's an interesting question because I was thinking to myself, like, is this rated R or is this rated PG-13? Is this a family film that's dressed up like, like this, or is this like Nobody with Bob Odenkirk, where there's a lot of like spitting out blood and teeth?
How fun would it be to do it where it's the family style, but then when violence happens, you go, Jesus, like it's too far. And it's like not fun. It's like, damn it.
I can't do this.
I can't believe we saw that.
There was
like the consequences are real.
I like things where the consequences. And so again, I feel like I don't really want to write this as a book, other than the fact that I want to. Kevin
McAllister like would have killed those guys within the first few minutes of them trying to attack the house.
Are you surprised that there were not more deaths and maimings of our parents' generation? Because we were like, I'm gonna hook a paint can up.
I made layouts and diagrams.
Of course you did.
And I had started setting traps, and my parents said no.
No. I mean,
they weren't good traps,
alone.
but it was like, like tape rings on the stairs. Like, well, then your feet get stuck on the tape, right?
Yeah.
And then you can't move. They're like, stop doing that.
Be like, we don't buy that good of Scotch tape, Tucker. Like, this is not going to work.
Also, you use 2 rolls.
And we have carpeting.
Dad needs to steal more now from Ben Franklin.
Yeah. What is the office supply that you think you've brought home the most of?
Like in
on
my
purpose
career?
Or accident? Yeah.
In my career, it's always
in the entire lifetime of Tucker at jobs.
If the pens are awesome, and that really was, it was never me like going, oh, I got to take this. I'm going to take these with me before I leave today. It was always when I was at Sundog, they had this massive office supplies closet, and they said, yeah, just, use what you need. And so I would always grab at least a pen and a notebook from there, because while I'd be editing, I'd be making notes and stuff. And I would just get so used to that pen that it would just make its way home with me. And I ended up falling in love with those pens.
Do you remember what kind of pens?
Now I don't, because it's been a number of years and I've moved on to other pens. But so it would be that, and then it would be probably legal size notebooks. Those are really the only 2 office supplies in general, I would say, that I really ever use.
Yeah.
I'm not printing stuff. I'm not stapling stuff together. So I'm not using Post-its.
We, at my place of business, at one point, I think they tried to switch to a different type of pen to make it more cost efficient. And
when you're trying to save at the pen level,
yeah, right,
you're in trouble.
Or are we using so many pens where both of them are bad, right? Mm-hmm. Are we trying to save money? Do we need to save $1.75, or are we spending so much that this actually would make a difference in the annual budget?
That's true.
So they tried to switch pens, and there was a revolt. There was an absolute revolt. We use Uniball roller style pens, which I really like. But I do think the best pens on the market right now are the Sharpie pens.
Oh, Sharpie's
brand of pen is out of this world. And when I see them, I comment on them in the wild. Like, you and I were out to eat, and our server had a pocket full of Sharpie pens. I'm like, aren't these the best pens? And she didn't want to talk about it at that moment, but she acknowledged the fact that she's like, yeah, I really like them. Here you go.
Right now,
can I get you guys anything else?
Right now, I'm using a really cheap pen that works really great. It's like the Bic Pilot G2 or something like that.
Oh wow.
But it's a nice deep black ink, and it rolls real easy, and it's got great ergonomic grip.
There is an influencer in Fargo who has a whole Instagram page about pens. And using pens, and it's pretty popular.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Who's that?
I don't know. It's like Pen Girl 55. I don't know. It's
that sounds like the Pen 15 Club.
I know the I know the person who's behind it.
Okay.
And I haven't bothered to follow it yet. And it was brought to my attention because the New York Times did a big thing about pens, and I bought the #1 rated pen that they had, and everyone around the building, we tried them. And
is it Scribble Lady?
Maybe. I don't know. Does it say she's from Fargo?
I searched Pen Girl Fargo, and that's the first thing that came up.
So there you go. Scribble Lady, maybe. I don't know. I mean, you're sitting on your phone looking at it, and I'm just trying to have a conversation about it.
Oh, welcome to the experience of being JJ's friend all the fucking time.
Having to look it up all the time?
No. Is your friend distracted by their phone or some other thing at that moment?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. Hey, this is a weird question. Let me take a hard left.
I feel like when we die...
Are we dying together?
No.
You made it sound like we're dying together.
But when you and I finally, I think in general, the royal when a human being dies, if you get stats, if you find out, okay, this is how many pounds of poop you made in your life, and this is how blah, blah, blah. I want to know what percentage of times you showed up to one of our friend functions and you were already on the phone.
Oh,
I want to know percentage.
It's going to be high 70s.
You think it's going to be as high as the 70s?
Yeah.
I think it was going to be, I was going to say just below 50, but even that's a lot.
I think it's high 70s.
Take that hard left.
I think is that a new shirt?
No.
Oh, it looks like a nice shirt. It looks like a nice shirt, like you might be wearing a new shirt.
I am not wearing a new shirt.
You thought about getting new shirts lately?
I found what my favorite go-to shirt is right now, so I'm going to stock up a little bit. It's just Goodfellow. I mean, this is Goodfellow, like my classics, but...
I don't shop at Target anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because Target made some really poor choices.
Okay, so here's the thing. I've been seeing that come up in the news again, and I'm so lost on who likes Target at any one time anymore. So, like, what is the latest? Like, I've not been following.
Target voluntarily got rid of their DEI.
Right.
And rolled back a lot of the programs that were actually, making them the place I wanted to.
Got it.
Like, there was even, like, a scale back of, like, their Pride Collective stuff.
Right. Okay.
And Target is a corporation. Like, this is just higher up. This is just the higher ups. They made some bad decisions, so much so that their CEO just this last week, it's hurt. Like, people who don't think that these boycotts hurt, Target has lost a significant amount of money quarter after quarter after quarter. The amount of people coming through their store. I've been to Target twice since January.
Okay.
And I used to go once a week.
Okay.
I was there all the time. We know I love the Goodfellow brand. I love Goodfellow.
Yeah.
So, so I've scaled back my support of Target, and just recently their CEO was let go of his position as CEO, but now they made him like the chairman of the board. And I'm like, you didn't demote him.
There's always a parachute or for the person who's up there because they know too much. Right. That's the thing is by getting to that point, that means they got shit on someone somewhere. That's just the case of it. And if memory serves me correctly, them getting rid of the DEI stuff was in response to either boycotts or threatened boycotts from the right.
Correct. They responded to the fact that right now, if you don't follow the leader, there's like a real risk of like bad things happening to you or your company. Now, I wish they would have put up some kind of a fight. Right. And like, it's the reason why I will continue to go to Costco nonstop, because Costco has rolled out new programs that they're not grandizing about that, you could maybe find if you did a deep search on Costco. And I miss it. I do. I miss the Bullseye Man. I do. I love it because I do really love like their in-house brands and stuff like that. But it's just like my dollar's got to mean something, for the same reason why like I cut back so hugely on Amazon that it used to be that Amazon packages were arriving every other day. And now I got on Prime Day, I got one thing. And I think that's the only order I've placed all summer long.
You know what? It's really funny that you're saying this because recently, and by recently, I mean like the past 3 days, I myself have become much more conscious of how much of a consumer I am, right? Like I'm a consumer, there's just no doubt about it, but how easy it is to get my money. And I started going down like rabbit holes of like, hey, listen, look at all these programs that people sign up for, like streaming stuff and whatever, like, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, it's just been interesting in general that I've become more conscientious of I'm becoming more conscientious of my spending, my consuming, which is really nice because I also right now have a really nice job and I'm making more than I've ever made. So, hey, great timing. Yeah. Hopefully I can keep riding this wave. But on
social media, do you get hit up for that rocket money? That it's an app that essentially you give access to your financial apps, and then it tells you like, did you know you've got these 5 services that you're paying for, but you're not actually using? Because
I'm using the Brave browser, most of that tracking is ripped out.
The what?
So I use a browser called Brave, and its logo is a lion's head, right? So that's where that's kind of the wordplay is coming from. It's an independent web browser that was developed from some people who I think had been working on Google Chrome and some people who've been working on, I think, Firefox. Nerds, I'm probably getting this wrong. Please forgive me. But years ago, they split off and started their own a browser that was just based all on privacy specifically. It's built on Chromium, which is like, I think, the code base that Chrome is made from, but it's not controlled by Google, right? It's the same code base, just not controlled by Google. And so in it, you can use any kind of plugins if you want that are from Chrome, but you typically wouldn't. What you just let it do is it rips out most of that tracking software or that tracking code that's in websites. It blocks a ton of ads, and it's like a privacy focused one. And it even keeps a log of, hey, this is what I blocked on this website for you. And you can be specific with like, hey, do this to this website. Don't do this to that website. Because sometimes it's going to break the website. Right. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, it's great. It just, it does everything that I would need a browser to do. And it strips out most of the privacy stuff. It actually did a great job of stripping out YouTube advertisements for the long, and it still does, but I decided to go for YouTube Premium because having no ads on my phone and having the YouTube music experience is like one of the few worth it. Like they degraded the free version of the service so much that I pay for the non-ad version. And so like that's basically where I live.
It's interesting you bring that up because a friend of mine said he uses an app called Musi.
Musi?
M-U-S-I.
Okay.
And the logo looks like a big M that's getting smaller and smaller as it goes away from you with an orange background. Okay. And what it does is you can search for any YouTube clip, but most people use it to listen to like music via YouTube. And it plays the ad, but it doesn't play the audio from the ad. So like the ad plays, but you only hear the music from the YouTube clip. So it's, it essentially removes the ad in some way, shape, or form for you.
Right.
And
if you're just using it for music.
If you're just using it for music, yeah. And so I found myself like, I really like, because like sometimes when you're listening to like a full album on YouTube, you'll encounter 5 or 6 different ad blocks and breaks. How much does YouTube Premium cost you? Do you know?
I'll have to look again.
You're supposed to be monitoring these things, Tucker.
I know. Hey, listen, I need to be more aware of my consumption.
Do you know what I did? A week before the first episode of South Park, I was like, I'm going to get rid of Paramount Plus. Who needs this garbage? And then now, like, because of South Park, I've been watching more on Paramount Plus. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that they had this.
Yeah, those dudes have a way of like, hey, guess what? We're back and we're relevant again.
Yeah.
They just really do.
Congratulations, America. We're back. Have you ever wanted to go to Casa Bonita?
Because of South Park.
Okay.
Yeah.
They opened up this thing called the Founders, and 1,000 people got to be founders of Casa Bonita. And I got one of those.
Oh, you did?
And they sent me a really nice, like...
That's when they bought it?
When they bought it, yeah. Because if you didn't know, Casa Bonita is a restaurant that is a fever dream. And it's in Denver. It's in a kind of a shady neighborhood in Denver now. But like when you walk in, it serves Mexican food. It's like a cafeteria style where you go in and you place your order, and then they've got a number that comes to your table, all this kind of stuff. But then it's like you're in a jungle environment, and there's cliff divers, and there are men in ape suits who grab women in bikinis and like throw them into giant pools. And their sopapillas are really good. It's this bizarre concept for a restaurant, and it all takes place like inside of something that looks like a Catholic Mexican church, like from south of the border from 1880. And so
I would love to go.
They have an affinity for going to Casa Bonita from when they were children. And so when Casa Bonita went up for sale, they bought it, and they sunk, I believe it was like $20 million into rehabbing this place. They brought in a 5-star Michelin chef to redo the menu, so it's really good. Jill has been there once. So, and like, you couldn't get in without a reservation, and people made reservations months in advance.
I guess. I mean, especially because it was immortalized on South Park too.
Right.
I mean, that's Casa Bonita.
Right? Like, Cartman wanted to go so bad.
I thought that restaurant was fake. Right. I thought that restaurant was just made for the show.
It sounds ridiculous. Like in the episode, you're like, what? Cliff divers in a restaurant? That's ridiculous.
But yeah, that's also, such a classic episode.
So I found out that reservations were opening and Jill was going down there. So I got Jill a reservation. Nice. And it's a reservation to go wait in line to get like a burrito.
Right.
Like it's weird, right? But so Jill went and she had a wonderful time. She was like, it's really great. And I had been there once before myself. almost 20 years ago.
Okay.
I went to Casa Bonita before I went to Estes Park, before I went to the Stanley Hotel, and it was pretty rundown. Like the carpet was pretty bad at that time, and it smelled like chlorine.
Cliff divers were smoking or something.
Yeah, I mean, it was like you needn't have bothered, right? But they opened this thing up called like the Founders Club, and if you signed up for the Founders Club, they send you a really nice, like the paper's really heavy, so you know it's that good. But then it also comes with a Founders card that I show when I go in there, and it's like not cheaply made. It's not like your library card.
You should
like,
keep that in your wallet. You should just have
I mean,
it.
That's I think their intention is that I do, and it's closed. Like the Founders Club is closed. It's done.
Did you ever carry like novelty IDs as a kid once you finally had a wallet?
Yeah, I carried a badge.
Really?
It was a real sheriff's badge that I bought at a flea market. And I thought it was so cool, and I pinned it to the inside of my wallet.
Yeah.
Well, also that wallet had been a gift from my grandfather and was alligator skin.
Nice.
It was the best wallet ever. And you know what? I ended up losing it at Safari Theater, and I know one of those jerk people who work there. And I remember the movie The Air Up There with Kevin Bacon, which has been erased from history because of appropriation.
When I had my Dick Tracy wallet that I proved you existed, I also had a Bruce Lee ID card. So it was
like as if you were Bruce Lee.
It was his head, it was his face, and it was ID card, and I kept it in there.
God, I tell you, they made money at Spencer's Gifts.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a driver's license, so that was my driver's license.
I think that I've been really giving serious thought to buying a T-shirt printer. So gone are the days of where the silk screen style of making shirts is kind of like disappeared. And a lot of these companies are buying this T-shirt printer that it's the same type of ink. So it's not like you
have awakened something in me. This would be fun.
Right? It's not like the crappy thing. But essentially, you can print on demand, right?
Sure.
Without having to like burn a screen and then having to go back. And it has all the colors in it, so it can do its own. I think you have like up to like 15 colors.
How expensive of a device is that?
Well, one that is like literally one where you feed the shirt in yourself is like $7,000.
Ooh,
but
damn.
Here's the thing. Here's what my thought. I paid $1,500 last year for 30 shirts for the Improv Club at Fargo South.
Okay.
The cost per unit on the shirt itself must have been $5. And so the rest of that, like almost $40 per shirt, is what they were charging to print on them, right? So I think that thing could pay for itself pretty quick.
Okay, sure. I could see that if you're...
And then I'd be able to, I'd be like, oh, what's today? Today's a day where I'd like Tucker to wear a shirt that has a toilet on the shirt and it says, ain't no rest for the wicked. And then I'd bring it and be like, here you go.
Dude, honestly, if the make of the base shirt was of high quality, that would be great for gifts. Like, I have designed you your own shirt. And this came from me. And it's of a high quality one, too.
Let me tell you about something that I experienced on Friday that was I actually want to invest in this company. So much so, I have bookmarked, not in Brave, because I'm not like you. Also, were you feeling down on yourself? Were you searching just for the word Brave and then this came up? How do I know if I am Brave?
No.
You mean Brave web browser?
No, this was I was shown this back in the poker days. So I've been using this since the poker days.
Okay.
By degenerates who need to hide themselves.
Sure, right. Yeah. VPNs and all that kind of stuff. Okay.
Especially in the state of North Dakota.
Yeah. Especially now, right? I am in Barnesville, Minnesota.
No, you're in Fargo.
No, on Friday. I'm setting a scene. It's painting a picture.
Right now you're in Fargo, though.
Currently I'm in Fargo, but on Friday, I was on Friday from the hours of 10:30 to 2:30, I was in Barnesville, Minnesota. And the Barnesville Grocery, the guy who owns it now just recently bought it, and he's been in the grocery world for the last 20 years. And he brought my co-host Amy and I a greeting card. And I was like, well, that's kind of weird that you'd bring us a greeting card. He also brought us a s'mores kit and some sausage. But so he's telling me about this greeting card. So what he did was he found a company, and what this company does is they do on-demand greeting card printing. So it's a kiosk that he now has inside of his store that has all these different designs, and it prints the greeting card right there for you. You can pump in your message, whatever you want to say, and it'll print it. It'll look like handwriting, and then you sign the screen with your finger, and it'll put your signature in there as well.
Nice.
$2.99 for any card. You can order them online and essentially like have them printed, so you can just come and pick them up when you get there as well. The print quality, fantastic. Like it looked good. It didn't look like it was going to smudge or anything like that.
Right. Nice.
There are so many options for cards, and they constantly are updating it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing. Think about the area of the grocery store where there are greeting cards.
Mm-hmm.
It takes up a lot of real estate.
Oh, yeah.
This kiosk eliminates that and just has the spot that you need for this. So I am kind of dumbfounded at how great this card machine is, right?
Yeah.
And I find out that it was thought up by a company in Fergus Falls, and I'm like, this is the future of greeting cards, right?
Sure.
Because for a long time, I think we thought, so Hallmark had the business. You'd go to Hallmark and you'd buy your greeting card. And then places like your grocery store started really getting into it, places like Target. And then there was kind of this die down in it because you don't want to hold on to stuff that's not going to be, good anymore. Like, let's say you order a ton of Lone Ranger birthday cards and then the Lone Ranger movie tanks. Now you're stuck with all these cards that no one wants to buy. Or you have to wait until Valentine's Day next year to sell the rest of your cards. So this eliminates that. It eliminates the giant footprint from it. I was shocked at how fantastic. And your first card, free.
No,
your first card when you sign in, it's free.
The first taste, you got to get that taste.
Right, exactly. And then you
got to get that fix.
And so, like, let's say you were like, I have to come up with like a Mother's Day card, right? So it's got pre-made greetings that look like you wrote it yourself, right? I imagine that there's a world where AI can even help with this and be like, make something nice for Maureen, like that says like, I love you. And so now here's the thing that really is going to
I just pictured you standing in the grocery section of the cards, and you're there with your machine and you're going, pandemic, come get that pandemic.
So I think that this is the thing that made me like just the most tickled while I was there, because if you go to the home screen, at the very top, there is a toggle, a button you can go back and forth. And one is like, I think it says safe, and the other says like after dark. They have a whole line of adult greeting cards, and they go deep. And so, of course, Amy and I are like, after dark, and we're taking a look. We're like, I'm embarrassed at some of the stuff that's on there. I was like, oh my. And some of it is cute and fun, like you'd bring to a bachelorette party. And some of it is like, who's giving this card to somebody? Mm-hmm. My God.
Yeah, that's making me think of just how when I can find the time to get back into organizing my VHS, like I've always wanted to have that like 18 and over curtain with the poster of like, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Yep. Because that's what I remember from Videoland. And then like a hand written like, don't go back here.
I don't know if I've said this out loud. I hope I have on this podcast at one point, but we talked about office supplies. Every business needs to have a laminating machine. And this is why. So many people are putting hand-drawn effing notes on the front of businesses. They're putting things like down that says like no checks are allowed. These things need to be laminated because they look bad. Come on, people. Or I'm going to start JJ's laminating service, and I'll show up in front of your house with a hillbilly style old van. And I'll be like, let's get some plastic on that paper there. And I will laminate everything for you. That's going to wrap it up for today's show. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to help us continue to produce new episodes each week, visit jjmeetsworld.com, where you can donate to our Patreon, pick up some swag at the merch shop, or follow our link to Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review. You can also follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all the sites the cool kids are using these days. JJ Meets World is produced every week by Tucker Lucas. You can find out more about Tucker's work by visiting moonbasemaria.com. If you want to get in touch with your host with the most, check out linebenders.com, where you can find direct contact info for JJ or booking information. What'd you think of that intro?
Love that.
Was that a good intro? Yeah,
We're
yeah.
keeping it.
Yeah, okay.